Hi everyone, welcome to the channel for new battle report. So this is game 4 of ETC 2025 in Talavera, Spain. We were playing against the team United Nation, who were doing really well until that round. So we climbed a bit up the table after a good win against Denmark, and now facing United Nation. So we wanted to try to build on that momentum and try to get another win. I was paired against Akniles, who was, I think he was their captain. At least he was doing most of the 3 minutes with his teammates. So definitely taking some lead over the team, and was a very good opponent playing Elves. You know already my list, this was his list. So basically we have a very combat oriented list, as you can see. Around a lot of scoring unit, very MSU. Nothing very expensive except the spear block. But other than that, most of the unit quite cheap, and basically everything can fight. So that's really the idea of the list. We were playing here secure target, so the 2 points, one on each side of the map. And we played cornerstone, so it's the line in the middle. You need to have your most expensive rank and file within 6 of the middle of the board. Secondary objective, I had randomly picked Enslave and Ransom, so I need to kill unit in combat, and I had demonstrate superiority, which means he needs to kill or block my vassal levies unit inside my deployment zone, because those two are my most expensive scoring unit. Matchup analysis, yeah, it's very aggressive. Elf MSU list, very combat oriented. The primary is almost impossible for me to win. Definitely to his advantage. The best I can do is to try to basically make it a draw. Secondary wise, should be okay, since he will engage in this matchup. That should be doable for me, and his is also doable. I think those units are not the strongest one in my army list, so we can definitely take the vassal out. Pass to victory, definitely range damage. The keyword here, master pyromancy, but also my shooting, and definitely having a solid defensive setup. I know what to expect from Elf. I know it much better than before, since I faced my teammate Andy, who crushed me in a Swiss tournament earlier this year. Basically I was very surprised by some of the rule of the Elf that I didn't know really well, like the combined charge, the -1 leadership from the Corsair, and also the ability, thanks to some magic buff, to sometimes just assassinate character, and he was basically able to take out my master pyro on turn 2. So I know what I need to be aware of with this list, and definitely I got some good learnings out of this huge defeat. So that was definitely a good training for me coming into that game, and I really had that big loss in my mind with the mistake I did to try to take them with me and avoid making them in this game. For Elf, pass to victory, attacking with multiple units, set up counter charge, set up second wave charge, I could also say. Starting this matchup is key, is absolutely key, change a lot. I mean, he would be forced to minimize. It's just the difference between him being one turn earlier in combat, or me having one more turn to shoot or magic him. So it's definitely a huge difference here. And I know I need to be aware of the assassination attempt against the key Master Pyromancy in this matchup. I want my Master Pyro to play in a comfortable spot, in a comfortable zone in the map, where he can operate and throw missiles, throw fireworks all game long. That's basically the idea. I felt overall the matchup is slightly in my favor. My opponent has definitely the advantage on the primary, but overall it's not so easy to break through my lines, and I have good range damage with solid units, so I felt I have the tools to threaten him, and I think it's not a matchup that Elf like that much. At least that's what my opponent also told me. I don't know if it was right or some intox, but yeah, it was interesting battle definitely. And we had also all the components that you have in this type of battle against top players, and it was really interesting battle, one of the most interesting battle definitely of my ETC. So we play for the 2 points, remember. Unfortunately for me, I lost the toss, I lost the first roll, so my opponent is able to drop everything to start. He went with, I will try to make no mistake, I recall that was Acolyte, I think that was Obsidian Guard, I think those guys as well. Here is definitely the Avatar, here are definitely the Corsairs. I think here you have first Judicator, this one also, I would say this one Judicator, this one Obsidian Guard. The spear block on the far right, you have the Yema that are going to stay close to this point all game long, and here you have the core cavalry basically, and on the far right the scouting, the black cloak basically. My counter deployment, so I use my usual trick with the vassal levies starting here and moving here thanks to the vanguard of the defender. So I was able to form a solid battle line here. My idea is pretty clear. You see here he has 1-2 scoring unit that can come for this point, that's it. The rest of the scoring unit are rather on the right side, so they are going to struggle to come close to this point. So I know that I need to kill those 2 units, those 20 wounds of elves, until the end of turn 3 to make sure that I can get the point on the left. I will also need myself to push for the point. So I place a unit of Immortal with a rocket battery and also the second rocket battery here, thinking that's 8 high quality, high strength shots. And also I place my Master Pyro because I think it's going to be quiet here. Basically it's going to be quiet and harder for him to engage. So I'm going to be safer and I can do the magic on this part of the map. So that's basically the focus. 2 rocket battery, the magic to kill those guys until end of turn 3. Far left I put the Disciples of Lugar. Here I place the bow shot also to support the range damage against Obsidian Guard. First unit of Vassal Levies, second unit of Vassal Levies facing obviously that way. And here you have the double Immortal with the BSB and the Naphtha throwers. So basically that's my death zone, thinking if the spear block want to push, I'm going to get him with double Naphtha. That's basically the thought process. So let's see how that goes. His turn 1, yeah, obviously start half of the map, just push forward with everything. He got Hereditary on my Naphtha thrower, then my first turn, I just readjust. One struggle that I had, and I didn't find the right solution at the time, but I found it after the game by discussing with my coach. But basically, I struggled to close that left flank. I wasn't able to move in a way to block it and not be at risk of his charge, especially early in the game, because he can threaten me with charges. Multiple charges, he gets swift strike. So I didn't want that. And also the fast cav, as long as there is more than 1.5 inch here, he can pass through. So I really wanted to block that. This has for consequences that my Lugar cannot push that much, and I get into a shape that I don't like as a defensive setup, which is this kind of shape. So definitely not good. Therefore I have really kind of a feeling of urgency that I need to kill those guys as soon as possible to allow my Lugar to push forward. And also I'm starting to readjust the position of the Lugar by making them wider, but this is going to take some time, more time that I would I would like to be as soon as possible closer to the left flank to be able to push a bit more this left flank. So that's definitely not so good. Then what I'm going to do, I'm going to bait that charge. I give him a 4+ with Obsidian Guard. The thought process is he cannot multi-charge me. I have 40 models. I'm pretty confident I can kill them in 2 turns. And basically if he charges me here, I'm quite happy because he will be further away from the point. So that's the second unit, scoring unit close to the point that I don't need to take care of. So that's basically the idea and the charge that I give him, and the rest don't get any charge. I'm going to get Naphtha thrower here, kill 2 of his cavalry. I'm going to get a cage on Obsidian Guard here. I'm going to kill 2. I get a fireball. I kill another 3, but I miscast, but do nothing to me, I guess. He dispelled the pyro flow, and that's about it. So quite a good start. I also got some bow shots here. I think I kill like 1 more guy and maybe give him a token. Yeah, that's about it. So not too bad. His turn 2. He get the charge on 4+ with Obsidian Guard alone against my Vassal Levies. Like I said, I think on a micro level, his move is decent because it's basically in the tempo he likes to have, meaning he knows he's sacrificing a unit, but in exchange for that, it's going to cripple my Vassal Levies, and they're going to be in trouble for the next turn. So I get that idea of sending the first wave to get the second wave. But on a macro level, thinking about primary objective, I don't think it's so good for him. I think it's better for me. I just need now to kill 4 Obsidian Guard, and then he has no scoring anymore on the left. So that's the idea at the moment. We will see how that goes. He push hard with the spears, push hard with all the unit forward. He double chaff my 2 unit here with his 3 cavalry, and also push with those guys max, getting closer to me. Okay, all good. In the magic phase, he will get I think a spectral blade in the close combat, or he got some kind of buff in the close combat. I don't recall which one. Maybe it was the distracting one. He also got, most importantly here, Danse Macabre, which allows him to push the spear as much forward as he can and be really in front of me and tell me, now you need to deal with the spear. So that's going to be very interesting. Close combat, I kill 2, he kills 7, we stick on 9 rollable, all good, and I gave him oil flask, so next turn I'm going to be reroll to wound, so that should be much better for me. My turn 2, I'm going to take no charges. I could have counter charge with the levies, but I didn't like that. I prefer to use the levies with bow shot at the moment. And here I identify basically if I stay back with the Lugas, next turn is going to give me something to eat, and then I get no scoring close to the point, and he can win the primary on that kind of move. So I want to avoid that. That's why I push the Lugas out of line of sight. Within 6 of the point he has, I just need to kill those 4 guys, and then he has no scoring unit, but I need to do that as soon as possible to be in range, and no matter what he does on his turn 3, I'm still within the range. So he would basically need to destroy me alone with Acolyte if I take care of the Obsidian Guard, and I think I can do that with my shooting and magic. Also last turn I put my rocket battery shooting everything into his unit, so I did a good result definitely onto those guys. But yeah, I'm feeling quite confident that the Acolyte cannot take out the Lugas, and then I would be fine on the left point. So I'm starting to get the situation on the left, first priority, not lose on the primary, I'm getting on the right track. Then what do? I chaff the spear guys with my unit with the BSB. And I get the second unit ready to charge. I don't charge the cavalry guys, I just stay in front of him and I move a bit back to make the charge longer, and I'm just going to do double naphtha into those guys, and that should do a ton of damage. Yeah, what else? In the magic phase I get a cage into the spear, and I make a good roll, he let that go, and that's huge because I didn't realize at the time, but I'm going to get double naphtha thrower reroll to wound, and that's definitely huge. He dispelled the rest of my spell, including the Dragon Roar, which is also very effective. I'm going to get first naphtha thrower, who does 10 spear, and then another one, kill 8. So I kill 18 plus 1 from the cage, which is 19. So very good result. Then with the rocket battery, I kill some of the Judicator or Obsidian Guard on the left. I don't recall which one, but I kill some of the 4 guys remaining. There is 1 guy left, then I shoot with the bow shot, I make 3 wounds, but he saves all of them with a 5-up, so I don't kill the last guy, which is a bit annoying, and I'm going to do it next turn. And then close combat, I kill Obsidian Guard. I don't recall if I kill or they were decimated, but they are not here anymore. So we don't have, this unit is dead. This unit, there is just 1 guy left, so they won't do much. And then this big unit suffered a lot of wounds. So basically they don't have so many guys left, but still they are going to charge. So everything going to combat, more or less. He charged 2 times with the Black Cloak, and then he charged me here with Obsidian Guard and Corsair as well. Okay, interestingly, lost some guys to DT. Repositioned Acolyte towards the center. And also then he pushed the 2 units ready to charge into the flank. He continued with the cavalry to chaff those guys. And the Yema, they stay close to the point, and that's about it. In the magic phase, is going to get lose. Yeah, he lost also on the charge another 4 guys on the cage, so that's another couple of wounds less. And he's going to get an amazing magic phase. He gets distracting off, he gets hereditary off, and he gets spectral blade off on 5 dice against 5. So he gets 3 buffs into that combat. And that's way too much. I think I should have prioritizing the dispelling of distracting and then let go the spectral blade, because 5 against 5 was always going to be dicey. So here, bit of a mistake from my part. Also what I did wrong, I think, basically my thought process was here, he's going to do some wounds, but I'm going to do some wounds to Obsidian Guard, I'm going to hold, but that's still a 7 rollable, which is a bit shaky, and if he gets the overrun into my flank here, I'm into bad situation. So I think here, first of all, we can discuss if I should have stayed or not, and second of all, I could have been able to just turn a bit around, because after the post-combat reform, you don't need to respect the inch anymore, so I could have turned a bit around to avoid any overrun into the flank here. So I think here, not perfect from my side, definitely with the Vassal Levies, But I think here the best decision would have been just to flee that charge. I think I don't have enough vassal to take that kind of charge. So I could have just fled the second charge, force him to get failed charge, or get into the second vassal. I can also potentially flee. But yeah, I think here, not the best decision, definitely. Okay, close combat, what happens on the far right here? I get, he wins, he did a ton of damage with the Black Cloak. I didn't expect that, but he's distracting on the charge. I didn't know about that, and then he gets poison attack, lot of attacks. I do not that much because he's distracting on the charge, so he wins, but I stick on a 7 rollable, I guess. Then we make the combat, sometime we make the combat on the left maybe first. I recall it, yeah, here I think it was a 7 no reroll, which I stick. And this one, which was pretty important, I stick on 6 rollable, the -1 due to the Corsairs. And I stick as well, so I'm getting a counter charge, which is important. And then we do the combat in the middle. And this time it's his time to be a bit lucky. He's going to kill with the assassin. He pop 1 assassin, strike at my BSB, kill the BSB outright, which is a bit lucky, but can happen. Definitely, I would have liked my BSB to strike, because as you can see, he has not that many bodies. I have a flaming BSB with flaming grind against Cage of Amber, so a weakness flaming, meaning that's a lot of wounds that I can make for sure. A lot, not a lot, but between, I don't know, between 2 and 4 or 5. So that's a lot of combat result that's added in the combat. He's going to kill the BSB, which is annoying, obviously. And I'm going to win that combat by 2, and it's his time to stick on the 7 with his unit. So we're still here, and it's my turn 3. I'm going to counter charge with the little levies into the Corsairs, thinking that's 3 rank, another banner, charge, it's +5. I'm going to have more rank than him and do some damage. He's now under the flaming token, so I can do good amount of wounds. I reposition that unit to charge on the next turn, and also to shoot a bit, I think, those guys. Yeah, and that's about it. Those guys still engage. Here I reposition just to get NAFTA shot onto those guys within 12, and I reposition to put people in front. And that's it. In the magic phase, I'm going to get Dragon Roar, and I think here we can discuss. I elected to put it on Immortal, thinking that's a key combat. I don't have the BSB anymore. If I get Dragon Roar, I can potentially break him. That's his mage, that's the assassin, that's a lot of wounds. And if I get it into the vassal combat, I felt I still have more rank than him. I'm not sure the Dragon Roar will be that important. I still have a good counter charge and stuff. So I elected to put it in the middle, okay. Then he dispelled my other spell, so I got nothing else than that. I kill here all the guys except the 2 characters, and they broke from combat, so that's huge. I had to reform, I couldn't really pursue because those guys were seeing my flank, so that's way too dangerous, so I had to reform looking down. And I think the rest, basically for me, bad news. Those guys, we got like a draw, I think, on this one. We did some damage, he did some damage to me, but he's not distracting anymore, which helps, and I have the flaming banner as well. The NAFTA thrower here rolls a 1, so that's no good news here. But it's not that important, let's be honest. The turn before was much more important. And then the key combat here will not do well for me. This time I lose combat with both. So yeah, I was a bit surprised by that. Yeah, I was battle focused with the guys on the left, but I didn't roll well. I rolled really crap and didn't do much, despite the good static result, because I have a charge, 3 rank, 2 banners. So that's 6, he has only like a rank and a banner, something like that, maybe 2 banners. But that's still like +3, but I didn't manage to win it, and I just lost combat, and I broke with both. So I lost 2 check on 6, I guess, due to the Corsairs. So I lost both, he pursued, got me here, and then it's his turn, it just charged me here in the flank, in the back, those guys in the front, so that's a bad situation for me. Those guys here, so yeah, we went to a situation where I was pretty in control. I felt I have a counter charge, should be fine, to a situation where it's not looking good at all. He charged me with those guys in the flank. You see, not so many guys alive here. I still have a good amount of bodies. And yeah, he just charged me. Those guys are fleeing, so he's going to catch that, get the war machine. So that's a lot of point out of arc of those guys. So, not looking good. I still have the pyro mage. Can still do damage. His mage is still fleeing, so I still have good options, but yeah, it's not looking that good for me. In the magic phase, I'm going to get his magic phase. I don't recall what he got. I think one of the charge was on 3+ and the other one on 6 up, but everything Swift-wise, so we got that. He buffs the magic. I still have Dragon Roar in the middle of that, so I do some wounds, but I'm going to break from combat. He's going to pursue and get the Corsair into the flank of those guys. The rest is not going to move much. That combat is also going to explode, I think. The War Machine is going to die and he overrun into that, so yeah, not looking good. My turn 4. So it's my turn to push and try to take points. This is unfortunately the last turn of the game. I get here within 18 to shoot at his mage. Here is going to take that. And here I just magic 5 dice Dragon Roar into that combat to blow those guys because they are under flaming token. So I do a ton of damage into that combat. I win the combat, he breaks. I pursue, I catch him, which is very important for the Enslave and Ransom because that make me win Enslave and Ransom, and then I pursue into those guys, and that's where we end up, and that would be basically his last. Then yeah, we just finish like that, but he killed those guys, and basically I kill with the shooting the mage. But you see the situation, I mean, it's curious because we said like before, it's not looking good for me, but right now, actually it's looking really good. I still have Dragon Roar, so the next turn he cannot really countercharge me with anything because he would just lose those guys. So he needs most likely to move away, he's going to lose that unit as well. Then I have 2 more turns of Pyro and shooting full. I'm on the objective, we both have 1, so we're not going to do the objective, but I think the 2 last turn would definitely be in my favor because I can just do range damage. I still have 2 units of Immortals, and it doesn't have much left actually. But that's where we ended up. I took more points, and to my surprise, I won the game 11-9. So we draw on second target, we draw on secondary. We both did our secondary, and I just took more points. So that was a huge surprise because if you look at that, you think, okay, Matt is going to lose heavily, and actually not. So yeah, that was a nervous game, but very interesting. Let's walk through again quickly what happened. Obviously, the most important role of the game is the roll to start. I feel in this matchup that's huge. He won that, so that was an advantage for him. My deployment was not optimal. I didn't manage to close the left flank and to really be able to push on the left flank. I will show you afterwards what I could have done better. Primary, yeah, I think that was that's something that my game plan was really good about. Is the fact that I realized quickly that I need to take care of the left and I need to push those Lugars turn 2 into the zone of the objective. If I didn't do that, I would have lost the primary most likely, and that would just have ended up in me losing the game. So that was huge, those decisions on the left flank. To the contrary, I made some bad decision. I think he's on his side. We can first discuss the charge with Obsidian Guard into the levies. It ended up working well because it crippled down the levies and then it charged another turn and then broke me at some point. I think here also I made a mistake. I should have fled. And let's be honest, I think it was a mistake for me to hold with the levies. I think as soon as he sent the Corsair with the second charge, I should have just fled. I felt he has not that much bodies, the Corsair are not that strong, but the -1 to leadership is huge. So I think I should have just fled here with the Vassal levies. Killing the BSB, obviously an important moment. I was also lucky to hold some checks, so he was lucky at that point of time. That's how game evolves. I could have also go potentially out of the unit with the BSB to make him survive. I had multiple options. I was confident enough that I can survive that one. Maybe a bit overconfident because losing the BSB is huge, obviously. Turn 3 Infernal Dwarves. Yeah, I was surprised to bounce on that Vassal combat. I felt the worst was behind because I hold to the charge, so I felt that's a counter charge. Those guys, that's 15 attack battle focus. That's good static, but I was really surprised to bounce, and that was horrendous for me. I lost then a lot of points because that allowed him to flank and back charge into my Immortals and get a lot of points, and also get the War Machine and get the 2 units of Vassal. So that was huge, obviously huge. And yeah, end of the game, I think we can also discuss if I got the Dragon Roar right. I could have also put it in the Vassal Levies combat, but that was obviously also key to make his mage flee, so hard call to make, but obviously the Vassal combat was also very important, so I don't know about that one. And yeah, last turn getting the Dragon Roar got me definitely the secondary and put me back in the game, getting me the win basically. And yeah, that's what we can say about this game. So thanks to my opponent for the battle. Just a couple of words on the deployment. I think another idea that I had after the battle would have been to deploy the Lugard that way and then move 6 inch with the Defender Vanguard to really close the flank, which allows also me to push my deployment a bit more left and then close it maybe more like here. Obviously I still need to have levies here. I could have also put 1 unit here of bow levies on the right flank. Most likely I'm going to be taken by the cloaks, but that takes him a bit of time, so we need to push turn 1. He's like here between the Vanguard and the movement. Then I can shoot, then turn 2 he charged me, probably broke me, but then he's still here, then his turn 3 is like here, and turn 4 here, so I would have at least occupied the cloak a bit out of my deployment zone, which could have been helpful. Could have also deployed those guys maybe a bit more on the left to try to push for the point here. I think that's definitely a unit that could have taken advantage from this part of the map, because I don't like the fight against multiple units, but here on the left flank it's maybe a more favorable part of the map where I could have placed the levies. So that could have been also something I could have done better. So I think deployment here, I had some good ideas, but definitely was still too quickly on me, definitely. And not putting anything on the right flank I think was also a mistake, because this allows him to just come quickly to my battle line and just push in a corner. And I think if I'm able to deploy something on the far right, that's still a bit different for me. It's not that easy to block the cloaks. They are going most likely to win and break the bow guys, but yeah, I still think I need to put something on that far right to cause him some trouble. So we can discuss what. Could also be a dwarf unit, but I'm not sure about that. I think I need those on the left flank, so I'm not so sure about that. But yeah, maybe a vassal unit on the far right. I don't think a big unit is worth it, because I have to check on -2 leadership. So rather the bow unit, which is still a bit fragile in the middle of my deployment. So I think those guys could have been far right maybe. Okay, and the round went pretty well, despite the pairing was okay. We got 5 what were in our opinion positive matchup, and we got 3 negative matchup, but we still ended up capping them because of, for example, a big loss of Andy and Xavier. They got both a 20. So we won on almost every table except one. We got a 10 and one a 9, but was on negative matchup, the 9. So quite happy about the result. We're able to continue to climb the table and get into a good position for the day 3, the Sunday, where we still had chances to be on the podium. So we thought, okay, that's a good situation we find ourselves in, and we need to take advantage from that and make a good Sunday. Guys, that's all for this battle report. I hope you liked it, and talk to you soon on the channel for game number 5. Goodbye.